Hello and welcome back to another Pony and Wolf Productions video. My name is visualbrony and today we are reading the story Just Tell Her by mageli7. I hope that I'm pronouncing this name right, and as always, here is a list of those lovely people who keep this channel alive with their monthly donations and keep me eating. You know, the things that I kinda need to live. And as always, I will also remind you that there's a big button under this video, and if you have not pressed it yet, then that means you are not subscribed to Pony and Wolf Productions and will not get any updates about our new and current releases. Come on guys, what's wrong with you? And now let's get into the meat of the story before I, kinda can't speak anymore. You can tell me anything. Twilight moved the quill with her magic carefully. She was yet again writing another letter to Celestia. This time it wasn't about friendship. Well, technically it was more than friendship. Something she had wanted to admit to the princess. That she love... Okay, she couldn't really say the words, but they were there. You can tell me anything, my faithful student. Twilight repeated those words in her head over and over again. Anything. Anything. Did that mean she could just tell the princess how she really felt? Twilight groaned and crumpled up the paper that sat in front of her. This was pointless. It wasn't going anywhere. She stood up and sighed, pacing around the library. Spike was out right now, helping Rarity around the shop. I'm not going to get anywhere at this rate. How do I even tell a sun goddess that I love her? Twilight cried out, hitting her head against the wall. She sighed, her wings ruffling a bit. What was she going to do? Just go over to Canterlot and tell the princess she loved her? That could actually work. Twilight used her magic to pick up her saddlebag and put it on her back, clipping a band that hung off it around her neck so it wouldn't fall off while flying. God, she was glad Dash had taught her how to fly. That made the process a whole lot easier. She could just teleport, but she needed time to think about what she was going to say when she got there. She walked outside and swallowed. The sun was nearly setting. Celestia was working her magic. Twilight blushed from even thinking about the princess. She sighed and took a running start before taking off into the air. She passed by Rarity's boutique in Sugar Cube Corner, looking down at it. Her friends would tell her to do this, they knew. It was rather obvious. The way she blushed when Celestia was around, how eager she was to please and how close she stayed by to the other. It didn't take a genius to notice feelings. Rarity was the first to notice, though. She knew the most about love out of all of her friends. So, darling, Rarity said, fitting her friend for a dress for some social event. I see you have a crush. What? No! Twilight said, groaning a bit from how tight the dress was. Much too tight, Rarity muttered before continuing, loosening the dress. It's obvious, Twilight. You and the princess. Thick as thieves. You love her, don't you? Maybe a little, Twilight said, blushing deeply. Aha! I knew it! I'm so happy for the... Wait, does she know? Rarity asked, freezing in place. No. You simply must tell her, Rarity cried out. This is your only chance at true love with a princess. Maybe I will. Twilight shook her head and continued flying, a bit scared for what was to come. She went over what she would say in her head. Princess Celestia, I love it. No, too quick. That was too much. Princess, I've known you for so long and I really think we should... No, that was basically forcing her into a relationship. She needed to think of something else. Princess, we've known each other for so long and now I think I love you. Not bad, that could work. Twilight flapped her wings harder, panting a bit. It was still rather hard to fly. She didn't think she would ever get used to this. There was the castle. Canterlot wasn't too far away. She would be there soon. Twilight soon arrived at the castle, panting as she walked slowly to the front entrance. "What is your A new guard started before getting a glare from another. "Sorry, Princess Twilight, come inside," the other guard said, stepping aside to let Twilight in.
"Thank you,"
Twilight mumbled out, her legs shaking a bit as she walked inside. She was so scared. What if the princess rejected her? Twilight's heart beat faster as she walked up the stairs and down a hallway that led to Celestia's room. The world around her seemed to move in slow motion. Everything was frozen in time but her. She finally reached the door and gently brought a hoof up to knock on it. "Enter!" A voice boomed out from the inside of the room. Twilight shakily entered the room.
Hello, princess?"
Celestia looked up and smiled.
"Twilight, my student, what brings you here?" I have something to tell you."
"Which is?" Twilight's heart beat faster as she looked up at the princess. It was now or never.
I love you. And not just as a friend or anything, like in a relationship. I love you. I want you to be my special sun pony."
Twilight mumbled out, bowing her head.
"I'm sorry if you don't feel the same way about me. I'll go now. I just needed to tell you."
"Twilight, wait. I have something to say to you," Celestia said, which made Twilight stop and turn around.
Yes?"
Celestia stared at her for a second. "Normally I would say the same thing. I can't be in a relationship with a normal pony. But you are an alicorn. You are immortal. So, I love you too, Twilight." Twilight got a large grin on her face before fainting. Celestia picked her up with magic, a small smile on her face as she sat her down on her own bed. "Sleep well, my student." Celestia kissed the top of her head. "I love you." Hello everyone and welcome back to Common Time with Visual Pony, where I remind you that you can support Pony and Wolf Productions through the links down in the description below. Every dollar helps is needed and very much appreciated and helps to keep the lights on around here and to keep me eating actually, you know, the things that I need for living, but I have already said that at the beginning, right? So let's get into the meat of the story, and by the way, don't forget to check those links in the description out because patrons actually get cool perks like high quality MP3 downloads. Now let's get into this. I have to actually agree with the first comment that I read here by a guy called Caneighdian, who says that there seems something, it seems like there's something missing here, like the story isn't quite complete. I'm not against the Twilight Celestia ship, but could use a little bit more refining actually, because, and an editor should really look over this, because there were a few mistakes that I kind of, you know, didn't say where words were missing or stuff wasn't quite grammatically correct. Otherwise, I kind of like it. Then again, I'm kind of torn on this one. Let me know your opinion in the comments down below, and we can maybe have a discussion about this. Sincerely yours, Visual Pony, and as always, I hope that this story finds you well in body and mind.